Billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Today, we're gonna talk about the Democrats and how they're just in the way, bruh. I don't understand them. I don't get them. They just continue to keep lying, keep trying to mislead the people, but yet they always want to talk about misinformation when they give the most misinformation in the world, bro. Seriously, bro. At this point, bro, they're highly embarrassed because at the end of the day, Donald Trump isn't in the Epstein files. Point blank. Now, there's no excuses. It went to Donald Trump's desk. He passed to have the Epstein files released. So we should not hear anything else about the Epstein files other than any information that is in there that needs to be exposed about any and everything that's going on with this situation. To be honest with you, the victims do need, I guess, some closure in this situation, even though Epstein is dead. But people do need to be held accountable, and hopefully that's going to be the situation that comes about in this whole ordeal. Chuck Schumer gets on the floor and misleads the people. Jasmine Crockett misleads the people. We're going to get into all of that. Jesse Waters going to break down the latest news that's going on. We're going to tap in with Devory, Darkins. He going to break down Chuck Schumer and how, he took this Truth Social that Donald Trump posted and made it something else, like they always do. LV Nation going to break down Jasmine Crockett, how she made a lie up, and then she tries to spin it to try to cover her ass, because this is what they do, bro. And the thing that I dislike the most about it is the average person hears these things that they put out and they take it as the truth because they're Democrat, right? And they're just blatant lies. And I'm happy we're in the day and age where Donald Trump has basically exposed fake news and these propaganda pushers, and they're being held accountable now because they're getting sued if not. So you got CNN, MSNBC, and all of these people, even Morning Joe, is questioning the Democratic Party because they're getting tired of it and they don't want to get sued because that's what's going to happen. When you allow these people to come on these news stations and you let them spread propaganda and lies, and, you're going to get sued for it. Look at The View. Every time you turn around, they got a legal note. So Donald Trump single-handedly exposed the media, and he's making them hold themselves accountable first. But I'm just happy to see it, though, bro, because I be trying to explain to people how corrupt these people are on both sides. It's not just Democrats. It's corruption in the Republican Party, too, right? But people need to understand that, and understand that there is a bigger picture to all of this. And until you see that, you're going to be a slave to any party, which I believe you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Vote for what you think is right. In this election, I thought Donald Trump, obviously, just like 80 million other Americans, believed that Donald Trump was the best person for the job. So he became the president. Do I agree with every single thing Donald Trump does? No. Do I agree with most of it? Yes. Because why? It makes sense. It's called logic. It's called logic. So we're going to get into logic, and then we're going to end the show. It's going to be a long one today. So stay tuned and tap in with your boy the whole time. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that share button, comment down below, hit that subscribe button for your boy, and also hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. Make sure you hit all. And then we're gonna end the show with and I'm hoping, because with certain channels they be blocking me, you know, because you don't got permission or whatever. So some people don't let you use their content, which I understand. It's cool. But I wanted to play the Shawn Ryan show. He had Brian Harpole on. He was one of the security guys from the security detail for Charlie Kirk during his assassination. And if you want to check out the whole entire interview, go to Shawn Ryan show. Dope interview. He really gets in detail with a lot of things that went on that day. But I just wanted to play a specific part of the video and just give you some insight on how he was thinking that day and what was going on. And the part that I'm playing is more about the misinformation part of it. So let's get into it, man. So first we're going to tap in with Jesse Waters, get the latest and the greatest on what's going on. Let me make sure everything is straight. I feel like I'm missing something. Hold on. Where the hell? All right, I am missing something. But that's fine. Let's play this. Let's get into it.
You hear that? Cha-ching.
Under the Trump administration, America is back and America is open for business. In 4 long years, Joe Biden secured less than $1 trillion. In 9 short months, I've secured $18 trillion to rebuild our factories, create hundreds of thousands of jobs, and bring back those beautiful words, made in America.
The trade deficit's shrinking, the GDP's growing, and you hear that giant sucking sound? We flipped it. All those jobs are being sucked back into America.
We just took a picture backstage with some of the great business leaders and some of the great people, friends of mine from your country, and beautiful picture. And while we were taking the picture, I said, could you make it 1.5 trillion? So he's got something to think about.
The Saudis went from fist bumps with Biden to cash dumps with Trump. That'll produce jobs, jobs, jobs.
GE Aerospace will soon be delivering dozens of new airplane engines for 787 Dreamliners in Saudi Arabia's commercial fleet. Big order. It was a big order just secured. Every new job and every new factory created by these announcements builds up our middle class and really strengthens the industrial backbone of America.
Soon the whole world's going to be boarding 787s to come kiss the ring of the king. Just kidding. No kings. And throw back champagne in the big, beautiful ballroom. Because last night's soiree in the teeny-weeny East Room was a little too cramped for these ballers. The dinner was so hot, the prince left his tux at the embassy.
Someone told me that there is in some of the bidding sites that they are bidding on me wearing black suits, and if you bid on me wearing black suits and coming here with the black suits, they're gonna get almost 17x. So I want to tell them, sorry, you lose the bid. Maybe next time.
Big Balls wasn't there, but the next best thing was Ronaldo.
This room is loaded up with the biggest leaders in the world, business, sports. You know, my son is a big fan of Ronaldo, wherever Ronaldo is here. Ronaldo. And Barron got to meet him, and I think he respects his father a little bit more now, just the fact that I introduced you.
Ronaldo got a tour of the White House. I'm sure after Trump showed him the B-2 bomber models in the Oval, he took him into the alcove where Clinton and Lewinsky played hacky sack. And guess who else was there? Elon Musk. It's been a minute. Ronaldo took a selfie with him during cocktails. Trump said, "What's up, Musk?" when he rolled into dinner. I wonder if Elon crashed in his old...
I'm happy to see that. I ain't even gonna lie. And I think from the jump, though, I think that was a whole play anyway. With him and Elon beefing, allegedly. I don't really think they was ever really beefing. I think that was just a play. But I'm happy to see that, though. But, yo, it's some interesting people. So, bro, Trump making moves for America, bro. And people are fucking with it, man. You know what I mean? They
office,
tapping in.
like the good old times,
But
back in the Doge
you're going to be shocked who else tapping in with him, too.
days, before Elon said Trump was in the Epstein files. I guess he was kind of right, but not in that way. But either way, water under the bridge.
They got the worst policy. I don't talk about it too much because if I talk about it, they might change. I tell people, don't talk about it. Wait till 2 weeks before the election and hit the hell out of them. Right? We talked about that.
And I've said that, too. I've said that they don't have any solutions. They don't have any policies. They don't have anything that makes sense or logic that goes against what Donald Trump is doing in a positive way. And this is why I don't fuck with the Democratic Party of today, because they don't have no solutions. Bro.
Right, Elon?
So the boys are back. Maybe. Trump still wants to hear one more thing.
We're giving them a deduction on the interest if they buy a nice Tesla car and they borrow the money. You're so lucky I'm with you, Elon. I'll tell you, you are. Has he ever thanked me properly? But I'm giving them a deduction. Now, Elon would like to have it differently. A deduction only if you buy a Tesla, right?
Trump's not here to make war, just money. He only hates people who keep him from making it, like the Fed chair, too late Jerome. Trump wants him axed. And he asked Bessent to be the hatchet man.
The only thing Scott's blowing it on is the Fed. Because the Fed, the rates are too high, Scott. And if you don't get it fixed fast, I'm going to fire your ass.
Trump has a soft side, too. It breaks his heart when you go green.
Some of these countries that are losing their ass, we have countries that are going bankrupt because they're putting windmills all over the place. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money.
Money is Trump's favorite word. But the P word's clocking in at a close second. Peace. A peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine could come as soon as this week. Axios reports Witkoff hammered it out with Moscow and hinted Ukraine better take it. The White House says, as for the rest of Europe, we don't really care about the Europeans. So diplomatic. Trump's doing so much for peace that we have Nicki Minaj speaking at the United Nations.
I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage and calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria.
Nicki's ultra mega. You know who else is? Toyota.
Yo, not Nicki Minaj. Not Nicki. Oh, I know the Barbies is going crazy. They seen Nicki supporting Trump. They hate that. And I guarantee you, if you would have went on it, I probably try to see if they did. I guarantee you Charlamagne was like, giving her the donkey of the day or some bullshit because she's saying something positive about Trump. Bro, people are over the goofy shit, bro. Period.
Toyota CEO showed up to a NASCAR event in Japan rocking a Trump Vance shirt and a MAGA hat. Kind of weird, but the whole world's somehow America first. And America, just like McDonald's, we're loving it.
Approve of Trump on foreign policy at this point in term one. Look, Donald Trump was just at a 35% approval rating, up like a rocket. We're talking about 43% now. That's an 8-point rise. On the net approval rating, we're talking about a double-digit rise. The American people like much more of what they're seeing from Donald Trump in foreign policy in term two.
The country knows we have a fighter in the Oval. Trump's not going to the octagon. They're bringing the octagon to him.
The card that people expect to be at the White House. That's what I'm going to put together.
So it's going to be packed.
Trump versus Biden. It's always about the fans. What do the fans want to see and what would get everybody excited? I mean, the fighters are literally going to walk from the Oval Office.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you're
that's going to be an epic-ass event, bro. Imagine that shit, bro. That's going to be huge, bro. They hate that Trump is doing things like this because Trump is just a regular dude, bro. He ain't with all trying to push, all of this, LGBTQ stuff on people and, men and women's sports. Like, he just, wants shit to be normal, bro. Like, I feel him on these issues because there's, issues that we shouldn't even be talking about. It's like, listen, bro, what you doing your spare time or, your personal life is your business. It has nothing to do, but to push it in schools and all of this stuff that they're doing in the Democratic Party is crazy, bro. It's super crazy. That's why I don't see what anybody sees in the Democratic Party today, bro. They're so corrupt, super corrupt, bro. They talked about all of this stuff with Donald Trump, being buddy-buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. They come to find out they were buddy-buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. They were actually getting money from Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm talking about after he was convicted the first time. And he got the sweet deal. So, bro, all of this stuff is just flipping on them, man. And this is why they have no other choice but to get out here and lie. And lie. That's it. And I'm going to love it when it gets to a point where, which I think they should have been did, honestly, but I think it should be illegal to lie, bro, if you're in the government about these issues, bro. Because, let's be honest, Charlie Kirk got assassinated for the rhetoric of the Democratic Party, calling him a Nazi, a racist, and all of these different things that he wasn't. Excuse me. And that got him assassinated. Also, it got the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And then on the other side of things, you got all of these people with all these fake protests, rioting, looting. All of these things are causes from the Democratic Party, bro. These people have no love for America. They don't care about you at all. Not even a little bit. They don't care. They just want your vote. That's the only thing they care about you for. They cozy up, say anything they need to say. Look at Mom Donnie. I'm not even talking about him today, but look at Mom Donnie. He's coming to the realization, and people who voted for him are coming to the realization that government just doesn't work the way he's trying to make it seem like it works. With all of this free shit, it's just not going to work. And then people in his own party aren't going with it. Because it's not going to work. It doesn't work. So now people have voted in a socialist who is promising all of these things that he knows ain't going to work. And go and look, he said himself, because they said that basically he's not going to be able to tax the rich, bro. Right? So he said, no matter what, we got to get the funding from somewhere. So if he's not going to get it from Donald Trump, if he's not going to get it from the millionaires and the billionaires who are already taxed, who already pay 50% of the taxes anyway, if he's not going to get it from there, who do you think he's coming to get it from? He's coming to get it from you. And the next thing you know, he's going to prop up this bullshit, scenario where they got to come tax you. And something's going to go up. Same thing Brandon Johnson is doing in Chicago. These people are ultra corrupt, bro. Ultra corrupt. Let's get into it.
Yeah, they're going to walk from the Oval Office.
Why don't they pass a couple executive orders? Fighters in the Oval. Teddy Roosevelt would be so proud. Biden thought he was a fighter, but he spent more time fighting a cough. The country loves fighters, always has. The Democrats know it, and they're not even in the ring.
Democrats, if we are going to deal with the onslaught from the White House, need to A, have a plan, and B, get a little more alpha energy into our leadership.
See, now they starting to realize that no disrespect, but all of the men and women's sports and the LGBTQ shit, it's not working. People aren't going for it. The only reason why people even cozied up to that was because people were getting canceled and they didn't want to get canceled. Look at all of the people that were going through, the whole cancel culture situation when Joe Biden was in office. But now that Trump's back in office and things are back to normal, people are just being themselves again. And now they're saying we need to be more alpha.
Okay, a little more alpha energy.
The Democrats don't fight for Americans. They fight Trump or they fight each other.
Facts.
Van Jones is getting cannibalized.
Not the black bootleg nigga.
Gazans are starving!
Shut the fuck up.
Gazans are starving because of people like Van Jones!
Oh,
Not
God.
Van Jones.
Democrats need to fix their party before they fix the country. Trump made it rain in Saudi Arabia with money and had dinner with Musk, Ronaldo, and Mrs. Ronaldo. And Nicki Minaj is our new UN ambassador. Kamala couldn't even sell herself. No way she could sell America. All can she sell is a book about how she lost.
We're here with Auntie Madam Vice President in Nashville. So excited for tonight's book talk.
It's great to be back with you, Justin. The power's with the people. Everybody make sure you vote.
Just think, bro. Hold on. Real quick. Sorry. She really thinks this shit works. Either that or she's super delusional, bro. Just think, this could have been the president of the United States, bro. Every time I see her, I'm just thankful, bro. I'm just thankful, bro, because this woman is ultra retarded, bro. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm talking about as far as the level that she got to, bro, I give it to her. She skimmed her way to the top, for real. How, like, as far as intelligence go, she's not even in that bracket whatsoever, bro. Come on. Even Democrats know that. I got shorts on my channel about Kamala Harris, bro. They even know, like, nah, we're good off of her, bro. She need to just go crawl under a rock.
Kamala took a break from her DEI book tour and hit the campaign trail. No one asked her to campaign in Virginia and New Jersey and New York, so she grabbed the bullhorn like Reverend Al and went buck wild in Tennessee.
Who's the power with? The people! The power with? The people!
Is Kamala ready to get back inside that octagon and trade blows with Greasy for the nom? Or is she still unburdened by what has been?
With all that you know to be possible, all that you know can be, unburdened, as you know I say, by what has been, but
Hey, yeah.
seeing
Even she know it's stupid.
what can be.
Kamala's new line? 107 days wasn't enough time.
Was 107 days just not feasible in terms of what you had to do?
It wasn't enough time.
Plain and simple.
It wasn't enough time. Yeah.
Kamala was VP for 4 years. 107 days was enough. Donors lost $2 billion. With Trump, we scored $18 trillion. Now, I'm not that great at math, but America won.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube?
Shout out to Jesse Waters, giving us the latest and the greatest. Let's tap in with Devory Darkins. He goes into this whole Chuck Schumer rant, and I just want to play that segment of it. That's it. Let's get into it. Hold on.
Mr. President.
Democrat leaders recognized.
Earlier today, Donald Trump shared a post on Truth Social calling for Democratic members of Congress to be hanged. He also posted a message that said, seditious behavior, punishable by death. Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials. This is an outright threat, and it's deadly serious.
This is what I'm talking about right here, this type of shit right here. Because this stuff right here is, first of all, it's lies. That's number one. And number two, the fact that he's able to even, like, bro, come on. Like, when are they going to just, honestly, bro, they would just be better off just being like, you know what, bro, I just want to work with Donald Trump and actually get things done. Instead, bro, every time you see any of them, it's all Trump. Trump. That's it. That's all they have. You never see them talking about anything positive, anything that has to do with bettering their districts, their towns, their states, America, nothing. You don't hear anything. All you hear is them trying to milk the taxpayers, and that's about it, bro. That's all they care about, is getting more of your money so they can funnel it in some fucking backroom deal. They don't care, bro. Raul Hernandez says no hard feelings, camel toe. I don't know who that's towards, but I'm guessing Kamala maybe.
We have already seen what happens when Donald
comment.
Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state.
This clown, bro. This dude is
Every time
clown,
Donald
bro.
Trump posts things like this, he makes political violence more likely. None of us should tolerate this kind of behavior.
You know what, Chuck Schumer? I am in total agreement with you. So my question is, why didn't you condemn the rhetoric from Jay Jones, who...
Real quick, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And also, go over to my boy Devory Darkins page if you're not subscribed to him and subscribe to him. Dope ass content creator, gives you outlook on both sides, not just one.
verbatim called for the political assassination of his political opponent. You know, these are like high school games, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the post right in front of you of what the president is posting here. It's in response to the law that clearly states what Congress was just doing, certain members of Congress calling for U.S. military to defy the commander-in-chief's orders. That is seditious behavior. In some way, shape, or form, it could be considered treason, which is punishable by death. Now, I wouldn't be calling for the death. I don't think he is calling for the death. I don't think that's what that means. I think he's quoting what the law says.
We all remember what January 6th was like. We lived through January 6th. We have lived through the assassination and attempted assassinations this year. We have members whose families...
These all are left-wing assassination and assassination attempts. Understand this, bro, all of the violence comes from their side, bro. Like, let's be honest, all of it. The looting, everything. Think about it. You know, the BLM shit. You know, the Black Lives Matter movement, all the looting, burning down Minnesota, all of the stuff that was going on, that's all because of the Democrats' rhetoric. Period. Now, mind you, there's some bullshit in there with the Derek Chauvin guy, but they put the flame to the fire, though, is what I'm saying. This is what they want. They love the chaos. He's talking about January 6th, where we know they had FBI informants in the crowd. They were literally stoking the flames on January 6th. You know, Donald Trump called for the national... Like, this is all information that you already know, and you know that these people are just lying. So when he gets up here and says all of this clown shit, I don't understand why people respect it at all with any of these people. This is all bullshit that he's saying. And mind you, the comments that he's saying, Rory just went over it, but just to give it a little bit more clarity, I forget the senator's name. I think he was a senator. He basically said some things to the military. He made comments basically telling the military to basically, you know, disobey, you know, Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like, he did some treasonous shit. And maybe, matter of fact, let me look into more of what he said, because I saw it, but just to give you some more
Families have
context.
had to flee their
He
homes.
bring it up.
When Donald Trump uses the language of execution and treason, some of his supporters may very well listen. He is lighting a match in a country soaked with political gasoline. And yet today he crossed yet another line that no democracy can afford to tolerate. He must be condemned forcefully, loudly, and without excuses before someone takes his words as permission to do the unthinkable. Anything less enables the flames of hatred to grow and spread.
Okay, so I don't have to remind you that everything Chuck Schumer just said is exactly what Democrats have been doing for over a decade now, okay? Exactly. We know that individuals on the right have actually suffered more political violence at the hands of radical left lunatics in this country. There's no question about it. We know there's an uprising in violence with Antifa and LGBTQ community, particularly transgenders. So let's not get caught up in this distraction from Chucky, okay? He's got real problems on his hand. Before I show you that, read this from Jamie Raskin. The president of the United States just called for the Democratic lawmakers to be killed. Trump is putting my colleagues' lives at risk because they have exercised their free speech rights under the First Amendment and speech and debate clause. Okay. Well, as I just stated, Chuck Schumer's got bigger problems than this. Take a look.
But Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are on different planets. You know, you look at January, the net favorability rating, they were pretty close, plus 22 for Jeffries, plus 11 for Schumer. But over the course of the year, Jeffries' net favorability among Democrats has actually gone up. It's gone up to plus 29 points. Look at where Chuck Schumer is. He's underwater with Democrats in the most recent Fox News poll at minus 2 points. But at this point, Hakeem Jeffries is running over 30 points better with Democrats nationally than Chuck Schumer is. The anger on the left is much more so against Chuck Schumer than it is against Hakeem Jeffries.
Now you guys see what I meant when I said that Chuck Schumer has bigger problems on his hands besides what the president is truthing on Truth Social, okay? The downfall of the Democrat Party could be summed up in their reactions. They just have to react. They're like a dog with a bone. They can't help it. This is what they know to do. They don't know how to serve their constituents. They only know how to react to the president. Now, he also went on to say things like this. This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Locked them up. Question mark. And he was just basically posting what the Washington Examiner had put out, which is about the video. And then if you scroll down, you'll see him retruthing what other people were posted. Get these people out of office. They aren't doing their jobs. Insurrection, treason, sedition. Indict all of them. Unlawful is the key word, folks. And the final one, which got everybody's attention, hang them. George Washington would. And another person put traitors. Now, let's go to Speaker Mike Johnson. Here's what he had to say.
Speaker, how you doing? The president posted that Democrats who urge service members to not follow illegal orders should be punished, it should be seditious, conspiracy, and punishable by death. Give me a response to that.
Look, I know the DOJ and the Pentagon are looking into the.
But you see how he was like twisting his words because he knows that he's about to tell some bullshit. They know that Donald Trump didn't mean any like maliciously. He's just letting it be known that what they did was treasonous, and in the law, these treason is punishable by death. So what he's saying isn't false. And I'm gonna show the video on what they did too.
Legality of all that, but what I can address is what everybody knows. That was wildly inappropriate. It is very dangerous. You have leading members of Congress telling troops to disobey orders. I think that's unprecedented in American history. And as the father of a young man who is, at the Naval Academy, going to be joining the service, I know young soldiers, airmen, sailors. They don't need that kind of nonsense from people in Congress. It is very dangerous.
But punishable by death.
I'm going to let others define what it is, but it's wildly inappropriate. Called leaders in Congress to do to encourage young troops to disobey orders. I mean, think of what the threat that is to our national security and what it means to our institutions. We have got to raise the bar in Congress. This is out of control and is wildly inappropriate. And for a senator like Mark Kelly or any member of Congress in the House or Senate to be engaged in that kind of talk is to me just so beyond the pale.
All right, let's just take a moment here. As you guys probably know, if you've been following me for quite some time, I love to live a healthy lifestyle. I love to eat healthy foods, but I do have a sweet tooth, which is why.
All right, so shout out to Devory Darkins, giving you the latest and the greatest. But let's watch this video really quick.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Hold on. Let me get this stuff out of here real quick. And all right, I gotta make this smaller real quick. So this is the video that they're referring to with this whole thing. Let's rewind it.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
So that was the clown situation that they posted. So come on, bro. This is how far they're willing to go, though, bro. They're telling the military to, first of all, what is Donald Trump doing that's illegal? That's number one. So the video is pointless. It's basic. It has no merit at all. Because he hasn't broken any laws. He's not using the military to go after people in America. He's not doing any of that stuff. So the video was irrelevant. So all it does is puts doubt, into the military, men and women who are serving. When they see this, they can either, chalk it up as it's a clown show, which it is, or you'll have some who think that they are being misled and that Donald Trump is a bad leader and shit like that. So it is treasonous what they're doing. At the end of the day, bro, Donald Trump is the president of the United States, bro. Whether people like that at all doesn't matter. It is what it is. Like, we literally live in a country where you have Americans. I'm talking about high-ranking Americans that are in Congress, that are in the Senate, the House, that are in government, who are literally traitors to the country. Donald Trump, for instance, is, tariffing countries to make deals. And he's making deals. He has made plenty of deals already. So it's not like he was using the terrorists maliciously, right? Or unconstitutionally, where he's just putting all of these insane tariffs on these other countries, and it's just absurd. No, these countries tariff us, we tariff in them. He said reciprocal tariffs. And the whole goal was to bring deals to the table, which he's did with the EU, with Japan, China. Like, what are we talking about? What is he doing that's causing these people to make these videos, bro? Nothing. They're just making them because all they want to do is put doubt out there to the American people. So when these midterms come around, they could try to get back the majority in the House and Senate, right? And when the federal elections come around. They just want you to hate Donald Trump so much that you don't vote Republican, bro. That's all they care about is your vote. They just want to get the power back. And best believe when they do, they're going to do exactly what Donald Trump said they're going to do. They're going to make Puerto Rico a state, they say D.C. a state, and they're going to pack the Supreme Court with loyalist judges. And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Shit got to change, though, bro. Shit is mad corrupt, bro. The government is so corrupt, bro. And for real, we the people really have a lot of power in all of this, but we don't use it because we act powerless. You know what I mean? Like, we could really change things if we really got together and made it happen. But we don't. Because why? They keep us divided. They keep you Democrats are over here, you Republicans are over here, you LGBTs over here, you blacks and whites are over there, like all division. So we can't come together on shit. But anyway, let's get into this next segment with my guy, LV Nation, my guy, Louis. We're going to tap in with him to get the latest on Jasmine Crockett, another clown, another clown with brown skin. Let's get into it, though.
People might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
a registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know.
When you search FEC.
So hold on, I want to rewind this, and I want you to listen very clear to every word that is coming out of her mouth. It's very important, bro, because this is the lengths that these people are willing to go to lie, to deceive you.
People might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
a registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know. When you search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do, I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted sex trafficker.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC. So number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein.
We got some big breaking news, and Jasmine Crockett is scared, running to CNN to try to clear things up, and it does not look good for her at all. Even CNN knows that she dug herself a deep hole as she went on the Congress floor and flat out lied about one of the Trump administration's leaders, the leader of the EPA, which is Lee Zeldin. She lied about him and Jeffrey Epstein's connection. And she said that she had a whole team literally look into this and found this proof. But it turns out that it's all BS. And boy, oh boy, make sure to smash the like button right now. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Watch as Jasmine Crockett tries to spin all of it. She tries to spin all of this. Even the New York Post wrote an article, but look how scared she is, guys. Let me play this real quick, because here she is being confronted by Caitlin Collins about what she did and how she tried to literally pursue a nasty attack on Lee Zeldin of the Trump administration.
Democrat who's been on defense over Jeffrey Epstein is Stacey Plaskett. She represents the Virgin Islands. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker.
Bruh, they cook, bruh. Now look, he's going to get into all of this, but I just want to this is how much they don't care. She knew it was a lie, bro. She knew it was a lie. That's why she said, bro. That's why she said a man named Jeffrey Epstein, or a person named, or somebody named Jeffrey Epstein. Like, she knew that she was referring to this doctor, Jeffrey Epstein. It wasn't the real, well, not the real, there wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile and all that. So she knows that. But it's not about that with them. They just want to put the misinformation out there. That's it. Now, it's a clown show because you got Caitlin Collins, out of all people, exposing your lie. And look how she just, bro, no accountability, no nothing. She knew that this wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein that everybody knows. But she still, you seen the confidence in her voice. Mitt Romney, Lee Zeldin, George Bush. And she said it with this conviction that makes you think that what she's saying is true. Like, oh, they took money too. And she's saying all of this just because the girl Stacey Plaskett got caught. She got caught. She was one of the people that got money from Jeffrey Epstein, along with Hakeem Jeffries' whole camp. They're getting caught left and right, actually, with their hand in the Jeffrey Epstein cookie jar, and they're mad about it. They're mad because they didn't really want this stuff to come out, bro. I said this already. They didn't really want it to come out. But now it's all coming out. And people, all you hear is Democrats. You're not even seeing it. I'm pretty sure some Republicans in there too. But it's all you're hearing right now is oh shit, come to find out, it's all of these Democrats that are talking all of this shit about releasing the Epstein files. Now she's caught in this big lie. Look how she tries to spin this shit, bro.
Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people that?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC.
Oh my God! Look at how she.
Bro, are you serious? She said she trying to teach them a lesson. Because she know that they didn't do. Bitch, you didn't do your due diligence to see if you. But she, like I said, she did. She knew that this wasn't the guy. That's why she worded it the way she did. So she can sit there and come on Caitlin Collins' show if she had to and say, I didn't say it was him. I didn't say it was that Jeffrey Epstein. I said it was a man named Jeffrey Epstein. Like, bro, these people are ridiculous.
She's trying to spin this. She's digging herself a hole. This is wild. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Right. She could flat out be sued by the doctor, which is rumors that he is probably going to try to take some type of lawyers involved. He's going to try to do something about it, because now his name is all over the ground. They think that that's Jeffrey Epstein, but she didn't even do the homework to inform herself. And here she is on CNN flat out going back on her word. And by the way, making up every crazy excuse you can think of. This is an implosion. We are watching an implosion. She said that she said it on stage in a congressional floor. She said on the House floor, she said, I and my team did our research.
Exactly.
We did our research on this. I had my people dig in, and that's what you found.
And then her excuse is, oh, we only had 20 minutes. And they don't show your face on the FCC site and this and that. Bro, then why put it out? If it's not concrete evidence, why put it out? That's dumb. That's just stupid. But like I said, they don't care about that. They don't really care about truth, bro. All they care about is perception. What is the perception? I just need people to think Donald Trump is a pedophile. I need people to think that Donald Trump isn't a good president. I need people to think that he is trying to be a king. That's it. That's all they need to do, is put the doubt out there and put this propaganda in people's minds, because that's all they need. That's all they need. They don't care about truth, bro. They'll say and do anything, bro. These people are desperate, bro.
You found something false, and you had the nerve to bring that to the American people to try to spin it? This is crazy.
Us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people.
What? You 1,000% were trying to mislead people. Bro. What? Bro, listen, bro. When you hear Jeffrey Epstein today, you think of the Epstein Island victims, pedophile. You think of that guy. Right? You don't think of a Dr. Jeffrey Epstein that works in Miami somewhere. She 100% knew that it wasn't the real Jeffrey Epstein, but she used it anyway, and she figured she could come on the show because you were so ignorant, you were so dumb, you were so uneducated that she could come up with this bullshit excuse on why and try to flip it and say, well, Republicans, James Comer, I think that's his name. James Comer came out and made the accusations against Hakeem Jeffries with actual receipts. An email from Hakeem Jeffries' camp sending an email to Jeffrey Epstein inviting him to a event or some. I think it was an event somewhere and they were saying that, Hakeem is the Brooklyn Obama and he's great and you should donate and this, that, and the third. They had receipts. Same thing with Stacey Plaskett. They have receipts. They literally have text messages. I showed it on the last episode of her at this hearing, simultaneously at the same time showing these messages that she was getting from, directly from Jeffrey Epstein. Period. No matter what. Bro, she was in cahoots with Jeffrey Epstein. She was getting money from him. She admitted to it. And we're talking about after he was convicted the first time. So what did Republicans lie about? This is what I'm saying, bro. They just say anything. And people genuinely believe this shit, bro. That's the crazy part, bro.
Now, have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not. So I will trust and take what he says is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Oh my God, this is blowing up.
Bro,
this is literally blowing up on their face. I mean, Greg Foreman, Black Conservative Perspective, he says, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Democrats are about to find out the hard way why opening the Epstein Pandora box was a terrible idea. Because they're trying to find and grab onto everything. And look how humiliating this is. She said she did no research. No research. She is scared out of her mind right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
A registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know. When you
Then why say it? Why say it? That's my whole point. Why say it? You're admitting to not knowing if this was the Jeffrey Epstein, but you still said it. That's my whole point. Clown world shit, bro. These people are, yo, bro. You can't make this up, bro. You genuinely can't, bro. You cannot make this up, bro.
search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do. I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't.
Hold on. She said she took donations. That's the thing, bro. Yes, they said that she took donations. They have the receipts. Stacey Plaskett, even said that she took donations from Jeffrey Epstein. So she's sitting there saying, well, they said this. What the fuck are we, children? Oh, well, they said this, so we got to make up something about them. No, this is real. What you're saying is fake and made up.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC. So number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein because I knew that we would need more time to really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein.
She would literally, my bad, bro. She would have literally been better off saying she made a mistake. Like, that was her best and greatest option that she had, was saying, I thought it was the real Jeffrey Epstein. I made a mistake. I apologize. And just chalked it up as a mistake. But instead, she's doing what they do in rare fashion, bro. They don't care, man. This is crazy.
That we're all talking about. You voted against the censure.
But that's the thing. She could have got it off. She could have got it off. She don't want to lose her job. She's not going to lose her job, but she could get sued. She could definitely get sued for defamation. But the thing is this. The thing is, she was better off just apologizing and saying she made a mistake instead of coming up with these bullshit. Come on. Caitlin, it's no way. I don't even like Caitlin Collins. I think she is a terrible journalist. She's definitely a Democrat mole for sure. But at the same time, even she is looking at Jasmine Crockett like, come on. I gave you an out. She literally gave her the out. She said, do you want to apologize? Instead of saying, yes, I made a mistake. I apologize. It wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein. This was a doctor, whatever. Instead, she just kept on with the same bullshit, man. You can't make it
for
up,
her
man.
to remove
You
her from her
genuinely
committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader Hakeem Jeffries on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees, but why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional?
Yes, Caitlin. Yes, Caitlin. You're asking the right questions.
Exactly.
Caitlin Collins has been on fire confronting these.
This is when you know they fucked up. When you got Caitlin Collins questioning them and going against them.
Democrats on their hypocrisy. How crazy is it that she literally, again, say what you want about CNN, say what you want about her, but she is confronting Jasmine Crockett on the fact that she literally lied and her team did no research, and she had the nerve to sit up there so confident that she had this information on this Jeffrey Epstein to try to make this link to an innocent person like Lee Zeldin and an innocent person by the name of Jeffrey Epstein, which, golly, just so happens to be his name. He was a doctor, right? And he contributed to Lee Zeldin before, but she didn't do no research on that at all. And then Kaylin Collins is confronting her now about the fact that, wait a minute, you're trying to make this and you have no research, but there was a sitting congresswoman texting Jeffrey Epstein. Are you going to condemn that? Well, you'll be surprised to hear this crazy answer.
This last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees, but why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions? And seemingly he had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship, instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain. And she...
Bruh, this shit, you can't make it up, bruh. This is the shit that I gotta deal with when making these videos, bro. And I go through this shit, bro. This shit, yo, bro, I don't like, bro. Charlemagne, because he ain't no God, Charlemagne said that this woman right here was the most qualified candidate in the Democratic Party to run for president, whatever. He said she's the greatest. Like she walks on water. Bruh. This woman is crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. This is, bro, they don't care. They don't care. They're willing to say anything other than the truth. That yes, Stacey Plaster should resign from the, but instead they're all corrupt, bro. They're all corrupt. They did some backdoor deal to keep her in her position. Bro, they don't care, bro. They don't even care about these victims, bro. They don't care about these victims. They're just a tool. And I'm pretty sure the victims even know this. They do not care about the victims in the Jeffrey Epstein case. If they did, if Donald Trump, and I got to keep going back to this, bro. It's like a broken record. Ain't that what they say? I'm glitching. Hold on. Why is it? Hold on. Hold on real quick. 2 seconds. But bro, these people are massively corrupt. I don't understand it, bro. If they had, it's just simple, bro. If they had anything on Donald Trump, it would have came out already, bro. Come on. We all know how much they hate Donald Trump. Not hated. They hate Donald Trump. They hate the fact that he's busting upside their head on a regular basis. They hate it, bro. They genuinely hate it. You think for 4 years they have these same exact files They have all of this information. They don't say a peep, not a word, bro. Go back. Do your research. They said nothing about Jeffrey Epstein for 4 years. It wasn't until Donald Trump came in. Because, like I said, they know Donald Trump isn't in these files. They know for a fact that he's not in these files. But see, like I said, all they want to do is put out the doubt in people's brains. That's it. That's all they care about, is putting out misinformation because they're allowed to. It's legal. It's literally legal to put out misinformation. And that's crazy. They literally made it legal to put out propaganda, bro. And that's what they're good at doing. And that's all they care about doing, bro. It's actually sad.
He took the information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean,
hold on, my bad, bro. My bad. This is what I'm saying, though. Even look at Caitlin Collins' face right here. Perfect pause. Look at her face. This is the face of somebody who calls bullshit. Bullshit. Come on. We all, this is what I don't understand with lying, with people with lying. Because, bro, we got eyes. We could see. We seen the text messages. She literally said, hurry up. I'm up next. Who's Rona? Is that an acronym? She literally, bro, she literally said this. So she can sit there and say, well, he texted her. It doesn't matter who texts who. Why does Jeffrey Epstein, convicted child predator, have her number? Why are they so cozy on text? Huh? That's the real question. But they, once again, what do they do every time? They go right to Donald Trump, bro. Every single time.
I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been
got
in
a
jail.
plea deal.
And in my
Bro, this is so bad. If you are a Democrat, if you're a Democrat who supports Jasmine Crockett, call her right now and let her know she never needs to go on CNN again to talk about this. This is so bad. They are jumping through every loophole. And by the way, how crazy does she think that we are as the American people? I'm pretty sure some people on the left probably see the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
He was texting her, Plaskett, right? The person that she's defending. He was texting her to hurt Trump. They were trying to hurt Trump. And then she's saying, well, the same person that's trying to hurt Trump is also his friend. So what's the story here? Because even Cenk Uygur said the same thing. He said, wait a minute, I'm a progressive. I'm a Democrat. I'm against Trump. But I got to say, why in the world should we believe that these guys were best friends, the picture that they're trying to paint us, when you yourself are saying that he was texting information to a Democrat congresswoman to get information to hurt him?
Exactly.
Texting a sex offender, and they're jumping through every loophole possible. They just opened up a can of worms.
Exactly,
look,
bro.
You can tell. By the way, I've never seen Jasmine Crockett like this before. I've never seen her this scared before. And you can just tell she is trying to save face. She is trying to save every little bit that the party got, because when everything does come out, and again, I'm starting to really feel, and I don't want to sound like that MAGA guy, like, oh, Trump is always right, Trump, but man,
it's feeling that way.
Like, come on.
Yo, when you see Trump, man, shout out to LV Nation, bro. But look, bro, when you see Trump and Trump talks about this stuff, right? He talks about it like, he even made the comments like, come on, we got all of this stuff going on. These things that are going on that are happening, and you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Like, are you serious? Like, you've heard him make them comments. Then they flip that. Oh, why does he want to talk about Epstein? What does he got to hide? Now you see all of this stuff coming out. He signed it. If Trump didn't want to release the files, bro, he wouldn't have did it. It came to his desk. It went through the House, went through the Senate, went to his desk. He signed it. He said it was, is it late? Yes, because he said he was going to do it. But I feel as though that he feels as though this wasn't a priority for me. It's more bigger things. The economy is shit. I'm trying to bring business back to America. I'm trying to tariff these countries to bring deals to the table. Like, I'm trying to stop wars. I got more important issues than worry about a dead guy who ain't even here no more. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate for the victims, but whether this stuff comes to light or whatever the case may be, there are a lot of victims who don't want to be put out there, you know, and there's some that do. But then you got to take that part of it, because it's fucked up to say, but it happens all the time. These people, are you really coming to the forefront and because you want justice, or are you just trying to get a little book deal? You're trying to get some notoriety. You want to put yourself out there as this victim. Like, I don't know, you know, but sometimes there are a lot of people that do things like that that kind of fuck it up for, you know, the real survivors and people who went through these things. You know what I mean? Because for 4 years, not even them, well, I can't say them because I don't know for sure, but I know that nobody was saying nothing about this Jeffrey Epstein thing until Trump came back in office. Now, hold on. I don't know why my joint is dropping crazy. What the heck? Reaction time is crazy. But yeah, man, I just don't understand it, bro. Why they, you know, are going so hard, and honestly, and now it's backfiring on them because they did all of this stuff, made all of these, you know, accusations against Trump, and now these files are coming out, and all you're hearing about is Democrats being super cozied up with Jeffrey Epstein. And why don't you hear anybody talking about, and my bad for the quality, I don't know what's going on. I'll try to fix it. Hopefully it comes back on clear, but it's definitely acting up right now, but hopefully it comes back to regular. But I played Brian Maxwell, and he played the Dead Man Switch audio of Virginia Giuffre, who brung up Obama and Bill Gates specifically. Why don't hear anybody talking about that? You don't hear any of that. Even when people like Jasmine Crockett come out and lie like she does, they'll come to her defense. They'll, you know, the headlines will be, you know, put in a way where it doesn't really make her look bad. And that's what I don't like, bro. Call a spade, man. Simple. These people need to be exposed, man. And Donald Trump is doing it, but if people like Caitlin Collins did what she did against Jasmine Crockett, more often actually push back on these people who are coming out here lying on a regular basis, then things would get better, man. Like, they really would. Because this shit is a joke. But let's get into this. I hope that it plays through. Because I don't know. I don't know if I play anything from Ryan from his show. But we're gonna see. Let's play this segment with Brian Harpole on
Man, yeah. It was chaotic, but you know, you find chaotic situations, you find ways to control it inside that situation, right? Mm-hmm. And they did a good job at that. And
so if it does stop me though, if it doesn't allow me, if it tries to cut it, I hate ending my stream like that. I'm gonna let it rock out. But if it does do that, we're just gonna end the show, and I'll link this video and playing a segment of it.
You know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about there was no autopsy, none of that. Was there an autopsy?
There was, and I can speak to that. Your question earlier about a pulse. We'll get back to that. And so they ended up working him in the room, and they ended up taking him to the OR because they got a pulse.
They did get a pulse?
They did get a pulse. But Charlie was a healthy man. He was very cognizant of his health, and he was a strong guy. And
they've had a pulse.
But
hold on. How long had it been since the shot to the hospital?
I have no idea. But you can.
I mean, that is a jugular shot.
You can be dead. A central nervous system. You got a strong heart, right? And that's what the OR doc told me.
Okay.
He said that's what it was. And so,
holy shit.
Yeah. And so I have no way of. I'm not a doctor. I just know what he told me. And so we go to that, and I'm sorry. What was your question again?
We were talking about the autopsy.
Oh, the autopsy. And so once they came down and said he didn't make it, and he talked about, he said if he'd have been shot in the OR, I wouldn't have been able to save him. And I was like, he's just kind of confirming things that I already knew. And so, and so I don't know how long, well, I don't know what the timeline was, but I want to say, I can't remember who it was, but I knew, I was like, we're not going to turn this into some JFK. I specifically asked one of the doctors, I don't know, I remember what she looked like, dark skin, like dark hair, probably 35, 40 years old. I said, how long until we can get an autopsy? And I remember her saying a day and a half. And I was like, oh. And so, she's the boss of that. That's just information. And so I remember, I was like, man, that's a long time. We need to get this autopsy done and done right so that there's not some conspiracy. So, you're starting to think forward to that. And so I remember I was standing next to the chief of staff and the vice president called. And the vice president asked him, what do you need? And then he looked at me and said, what do we need? And I said, we need an autopsy now. So for these people that are saying there wasn't one done, go away. It was done. It was done. Do it for you. Yeah. Get the report when it comes out. It was done. It was done. Yeah. In
my bad for the glitching, man. Like, I hope the audio at least was playing, but I'm trying to get this joint back, but this joint is glitching all crazy.
The OR doc released statements regarding, and there has been statements regarding the bullet and the travel. Oh, there should have been a blowout, and I was like, there wasn't an exit wound. There wasn't one. I was checking for that in the ride. Yeah, and so people are like, yeah, it's completely impossible. And I was like, man, I've seen bullets do weirder things on people. And so all I know is what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't an exit wound. And so I know there was an autopsy done. One, because it's not that hard. It's a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can feel it when you know, the rule of kind of thumb on that one is you don't want to make it bigger, but you got to keep packing it in there. And so, yeah, I've heard and seen them all. Like, there was a guy that said, that the mic blew up and it was a bomb.
Yeah, I was going to wait. Yeah, there is a guy online that is saying that the microphone may have had some type of explosive projectile inside of it.
So it wrapped around the neck and created a hole?
That's the thing that I just couldn't wrap my head around either, as the explosion killed him. And then, in fact, there's actually some camera footage that somebody has done some type of assessment on. But you cut his shirt off.
Right.
Did you see any burn marks? Did you see any indication of any type of explosion?
Back it up even further to that. You've been around explosives and shape explosives and stuff like that. It's like, what do you have when you have that? They had that down to like frames, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This joint is killing me. I'm gonna have to get this fixed. But I'm gonna just call it for the night. I don't know why this is going in and out. This is blowing my shit. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but anyway, man, I don't know if you can hear me. If you can, man, thank y'all for locking in with me for as long as y'all did. Hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with me, man. Until tomorrow, I'm out.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.